Good morning. How are you today? It's a new day, it's a new week. We are in November already, November 3rd. It is unbelievable how the time is just passing by so quickly. Yesterday was September and now it's November and pretty soon it's going to be January. Yeah, time is going by too quickly for me. I guess that's what happens when, we get older. The time is just flies by. And that time becomes closer and closer. But today I wanted to talk with you guys about something that I thought about last night. As I was going to bed, I was like all day yesterday, Sunday, I did a lot of stuff at the house finally. Finally, I got to do some work at my house and clean up and, just basic stuff that I just can't do during the week because by the time I get home, I'm so tired. So yesterday was a good day. I cleaned my house, like I said. There was a lot of leaves in the back, my back porch, my front porch, so I took care of that as well. My husband mowed the grass. So then we had, a couple over for dinner, and it was a good evening. But during the day, I had a test, an online test that I wanted to get my Pennsylvania notary back reinstated because I was a notary years ago, but then I moved into the New York side, and so I wanted to get my notary back. So I did all the, procedures and did all the paperwork. And yesterday was my test, my online test. And so I've been studying for that. And I have been so busy, I said it before, I belong to so many organizations and, community activities and so forth. So I needed another project, like a hole in my head. So I've been studying for that. I also purchased, I'm telling you, I'm not right in the head. I purchased the online class for the New York State real estate license. Let me turn you around so you can see, because this area that I'm going on right now is a different route that I take than the one that I take in the afternoon coming home from work. So let me turn you around and you can get to see a different view, I guess, right? Hold on. So this is the different view that we're gonna see today. Anyways, so I purchased, like I said, the real estate class, the online class, which it needs 75 hours. So I am at 25 hours right now since, when did I buy it? I think I bought it like October 10th. And I was doing really good, and then I had to give more hours to work. So that scaled back a little bit. And instead of 2-3 hours a day, now I'm doing an hour a day, which is not good. I have to put more hours maybe in the evening when I get home. But anyway, so I decided to get my Pennsylvania notary. And that's what, I took the test yesterday and, of course I passed, even though I suck at tests. I do not do good at tests. Years and years ago, after I got my, one of my degrees, which was it? I got my paralegal, then I got my bachelor's. So I took a test to go to law school. My girlfriend at the time, we were going to school together. She took some classes to prepare for that, for the LSAT. And I didn't. I just went in there and, whatever. I was 7 points short on my test to get into law school. And, it was, my life would have been a little bit different, I guess. But yeah, I was 7 points short to pass that test to go to law school. I decided, I wasn't going to retake it. It was so stressful. Oh my goodness. There was a tiny little bit of air coming through the window, and the shades would make this very faint noise. But I remember how stressful that tiny little, noise was. So I suck at tests. I am not good at testing. I know that. But then, when I was talking to my husband the night before, yesterday, he goes, no, don't say that. Don't say that you suck at tests. Say, you're going to ace this test. And I said, I'm going to ace this test. I'm going to ace this test. And, sure enough, I did it. So I guess it's all about, confidence and stuff about, when you take a test like that. But maybe if I quit saying I suck at test, I'll get better at test. But the point that I was trying to, convey is that I need another project, like a hole in the head, like I said. So at least that notary, Pennsylvania notary, is done. I just need to get some, go to the office at the recorder of deeds and get sworn in, get the bond, which I already paid for it, and, get some, get the journal and the stamp, and that's about it. But, so that is done and over with. However, I do want to get my New York notary as well. And I have been studying for both of them at the same time. I think Pennsylvania is a little bit more easier because their fees are just, they're all the same but one. And New York, they're all varied. And it's like, how are you going to remember how much, you're supposed to charge for a certain type of notarization, because they all varied. So that question I have to really, hone in and really study for the New York test. I already, say I gave myself a deadline, and I think it's in a couple of weeks, not next week, but the following week, that there is a test nearby. So I am going to, keep studying for my realty, real estate license, because I think I have until February to finish the hours. And I already have a broker lined up that will take me. They are eager to take me. But studying for the New York State notary, I have to put a little bit more time and effort. That the Pennsylvania notary is done. Again, this is what I was trying to say. Last night, right before I went to bed, the thought or the question came to my mind: am I doing too much? And it was like, am I? Now, let me recount of what organizations I belong to. So one, I belong to my local political organization committee. I am a member of that committee. Also, they want me to be in the bylaws committee for the county. So that's one. Then the bylaws committee for the county. So that's two. I am a board of directors at my local HOA, at my community. Um, I somewhat am involved in the. I'm not really involved in the budget, but I see things that they don't see in their numbers, which are mostly common sense than non-mathematical equations. Um, so that's three. I am also the president of the business association in my town, so that's four. I have basically two jobs because I help my husband over the weekends. After I took my test yesterday for the Pennsylvania Notary, I did all the payroll for my husband's company. So I help him there. So that's a part-time job. My other job that I go to, every day now, which is about, I don't know, 40 minutes away from my house. So I have that. So that's six. All right. I'm studying to get, because I have to get it because I pay for it like $400 for my real estate licensing in New York. I'm also now studying, been studying for the notary. So that's like eight pots that are on my stove. And that's not counting the projects that I have at home. I want to change my floor in the living room and kitchen. I need to finish the bathroom that I started demolishing in March. And I just put about 20 hours. And then I quit for the summer. All the little projects that I have at my house. And then with Christmas coming, I can't afford to go buy shopping for presents. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the presents for the people that I want to give them presents to. And that stuff, some of it I have at home already because I do a little bit of crafts here and there. And the rest I can just get it at the dollar store, which is not dollar anymore, but that's another story. So, I'm tired already by just talking about it, But that's my life. I am very busy. I guess, I like being busy because, like I said before in another video, it keeps me out of trouble. But am I doing too much? Cut down something so I can have some respite. I think that when we go in our boat, that's when I take my time off of everything. Because I don't do anything when I'm on the boat. I wash the boat, I clean the boat, and I do the lines when we go out, and I do the fenders. That's about it. There is no studying, there is nothing. And we are in a side of the marina that we really don't get good Wi-Fi, so that prevents me from, wasting my time. So, my time, there isn't enough hours in the day to accomplish everything that I want to accomplish. So I was thinking last night, am I doing too much? I'm 58 and I don't see anything that I would stop or slow down with projects, what it is. My father, which I'm going to do a video on my father or about my father. My father was the kind of man that loved education. He's passed away, 30 years ago, but he loved education. And I will go in depth on his life and who he was. So you kind of to know where I come from when it comes to education. I always have said education is having like a master key that can open any door for you. So education for me, is the best. Okay, so back to the education, back to the, how I think education is so important. First of all, it keeps you out of trouble. You get an education, you make yourself a routine, and you aspire to something bigger and out of the cookie cutter norm of whatever life circumstances, demographics may be around you. So to me, education is crucial. And maybe that is why I am taking all this, classes and trying to better myself, put another feather on my cap. This coming week, another project that I must do is get my gun permit. And I have to take a 16-hour class for that. But I want to get my gun permit. I want to carry. And you never, I mean, you never know what's going to happen in New York. But so yeah, I am doing a lot, needless to say. And I wanted to, give you a recap of what's on my plate right now. So, like I said, I'm tired, but I'm excited. So that, adrenaline and keeps me going. I just enjoy, I really, really enjoy a challenge. So yeah, I'm doing a lot, but I am happy, and I love doing it. I really love doing it. Spreading myself thin, but I love it. So on that note, I want you guys to, think about what you do to better yourself. What's the little things, even if it's, if you can do like a garden and you get, vegetables from it, that's bettering yourself. I wish I could have a garden, but then my deer will come and eat my stuff, which, you know what? I put 2 pumpkins out and they ate them. They ate both of the pumpkins. I even put some human hair around, and so they wouldn't come and eat it. They ate it. So, they completely disappeared. There was not a smidget left that gave an indication that there was a pumpkin there on my front porch. So, yeah, tell me what you do to get yourself better. What keeps you occupied? How do you do it? How does it make you feel? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It helps me keep going. It helps with your comments as well, because it gives me like an incentive, to keep going and just ranting away about things in life that makes us human. So on that note, thank you for watching. Take care of yourself and each other, and have all the blessings that you can, aspire. And with that, and as always, Carpe Diem.